What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to the Blazers Uprise post-game show. The Blazers today, they lose 103-101 to the Charlotte Hornets after a very similar story plays out as a lot of other games that we've discussed this year. Eric, let me know if you've heard this story before. The Blazers offense in the fourth quarter becomes absolutely abysmal. The Blazers have 18 turnovers, and the Blazers in crunch time turn the ball over twice, including on a sideline inbounds, trying to throw it into the freaking corner. Have you heard that story before? Because, I don't know, I was getting a little bit of deja vu there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a sign of a badly coached team when you're making the same mistakes this late in the season that plagued you earlier in the season. And I don't know what the hell that out-of-bounds play was. Thiago was, like, yelling at Denny to go somewhere else. And, dude, what are we doing? What was the pass, too? Like, even if Denny wasn't being held, it was, like, maybe uncatchable anyways. Like, dude, just
After a timeout, too.
Yeah.
Dude, that fourth quarter absolutely disgusted me. Thank you guys for tuning in today. If you can't tell what type of stream this is going to be, hopefully you can tell now, because I am freaking annoyed at the basketball that was played in that fourth quarter. This would have been a great win for the Portland Trail Blazers, given how easy their schedule is the rest of the way. If they won this game, we could be talking about like a 6 or 7 game winning streak a week and a half from now, given that they're probably going to be favored against their opponents coming up. And the Blazers got up 19 early in this game at home. And yes, I know they're underdogs going into this game, but you're able to get up 19 at home. You got to take care of business against this team. It's not like you're playing the OKC Thunder. It's not like you're playing the Detroit Pistons or the New York Knicks. I know Charlotte's been really good since the new year, but you get up 19 at home. You got to find a way to not completely collapse. But they completely collapse. And the fourth quarter was some freaking abysmal basketball. Once again, what does the offense do in the fourth quarter against a good team? It becomes insanely stagnant, and the shot selection falls off a cliff. The shot selection is absolutely terrible, and even when they get a layup, they can't freaking finish. What else happens in this fourth quarter? They get completely out-hustled on the boards. They can't grab a defensive rebound. I don't know how many offensive rebounds they gave up there in that fourth quarter, but it felt like a lot, and the Hornets had 16 offensive rebounds today to the Blazers' 10. Offensive rebounds killed the Blazers in the fourth quarter. It was like every time down the floor, they had to get 2 stops instead of 1. Just completely out-hustled. I saw Matisse Thybulle early in the quarter and then Toumani Camara later in the quarter just flopping on screens. Just being completely soft on screens. And they just wilter away down the stretch, and they can't get a bucket, and this team is just freaking poorly coached and soft. There's like 5 different conversations to have in terms of what I just brought up there. I don't know where you want to start. I'll start with this before we get into some of the end-of-game stuff. I am so freaking tired of how soft this team is when it comes to grabbing the freaking ball on the defensive glass. When it comes to pursuing the ball on the defensive glass. This team needs to spend a whole freaking practice just trying to murder each other for defensive boards. For rebounds. They need to line up 2 guys next to each other and say, there's no such thing as a foul. Go grab the ball. That's the type of stuff you do in high school and college. Normally not in the NBA. Normally you figure out how to go freaking attack a rebound in the NBA. But oh my goodness, this team played so soft on the defensive glass, and then defensively getting through screens, flopping all over the place, complaining. Donovan Clingan kind of has the ball in his hands, and he gets a little push in the back, and he gets moved by Moussa Diabate. Like, you just got to be stronger than that. You can't be so soft. And then on the offensive end, man, this team just played completely idiotic basketball down the stretch. I mean, just soft mentally, offensively, but also, what is our offense down the stretch? We don't run anything. It just becomes complete stagnant BS with guys taking turns isolating, and, the refs start swallowing their whistle, and we don't know how to play basketball like that. We don't know how to play basketball when the refs start swallowing their whistle. We're not getting our moving screen calls when we flail when we get hit by a basic screen. We're not getting calls when there's some contact for a rebound. How are we supposed to grab a rebound if there's any sort of contact? So I'm just pissed off with how soft this team played because this was a golden opportunity. I don't know if Golden State, did they win or lose? They lost last night to the Jazz. They are doing the Blazers a favor, giving them a golden opportunity to play their way into the 8th seed. This is the type of game you got to freaking win, but this team can't beat anything but bottom feeders right now. They're up 19. It looked like tonight was going to be different, and it's not different. It's the same freaking story in the fourth quarter to lose them a game.
Golden State lost to the Bulls in overtime.
Yep. We could be talking about this team being a half game back at Golden State. With the tiebreaker. With bottom feeders in front of them, if they could have figured out how to win this game. That's why I'm so freaking frustrated, because they can't win this type of game because they're soft and terribly coached.
Dude, I listened to Thiago before we came on. Dude, first thing out of his mouth, I thought we played really hard. The effort was there. What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? Then he's like, oh, except for boxing out. Yeah, no crap. That means your effort wasn't there, dude. Like, this is the problem. And that's why we're soft, Tori, is because it's excused as, oh, we played hard. We just didn't get rebounds or whatever. And we just missed shots. He said that too. Like, we got some good looks. They just didn't go down. It happens.
They shot 38% from three. What the hell is he talking about?
It's coach speak, but like, this is the problem. We all see it. They are soft on the rebounds. They do not attack them aggressively. They have several players who don't box out, and then you have the coach afterwards acting like it's not a problem. Like it's absolutely a problem. And when they played well, it's because they've rebounded the ball well, I think. And when they haven't rebounded well, like this game, you get out rebounded by double digits. Then you lose a game that you absolutely should have had, and you give up 16 offensive rebounds. You send them to the line a bunch more than you got to the line, and you lose a game which you, from the field, made more shots than they did. So it's frustrating, man.
I am so freaking tired of seeing these same stupid issues not get better. And then the first thing the head coach of the team says to the media is essentially, we tried. I'm proud of us because we tried to win, except we didn't really try and rebound. And that kind of lost us the game, but otherwise we tried. You're professional freaking athletes. It's your job to try. You got Jeremy Grant making $35 million to grab 3 rebounds in 35 freaking minutes. It's your job to try. I am so sick of, hey, we gave effort. That should be a baseline freaking standard. And it pisses me off that this coach acts like that's some freaking accomplishment, that they tried to win a freaking basketball game. You should freaking try. But yet you can't try and go grab the freaking ball. And then can you try to drop an inbounds play that freaking works from the sideline in the last minute? Did the coaching staff not try to drop a freaking inbounds play that they could execute? Like, how often do we have to see the same turnover? Dude, in the last minute of a, 1 to 2 possession game, we probably turn over the ball on a sideline inbounds over 50% of the time. I'd love to see the actual stat. It's probably at least 50 freaking percent. Did they try on offense? Because on offense, it was a bunch of guys standing around, and one guy, I guess, was trying to create just ISO, swing, ISO again. Like, I'm just freaking sick of the same freaking problems, and then I'm so tired of it just being like the attitude that's just, hey, we tried, man. That sounds like a mediocre ass team to me. That sounds like a soft coach to me, man.
Oh, we just missed shots. Sorry. We just missed shots.
You make 38% of your threes. That's like 5% better than you are on the season, and you just miss shots. I'm just tired of the freaking cliches, man. It's so freaking frustrating. I know people won't like how mad I am. It pisses me off. I'm freaking sick of it, dude. I'm freaking sick of it. It's just like the whole attitude. You guys know the number one thing that ticks me off is just like the embrace of mediocrity. Embracing being completely mediocre. And you blow a 19-point lead at home to the Charlotte Hornets, who are 33-33. They're a play-in team in the East. And your whole attitude is like, we tried to win, and we made 38% of our threes. We could have made more. That's just mediocre bullshit. And that's the attitude from Thiago. No wonder the team's soft. He's a soft coach. He's a soft coach. He doesn't know how to get on guys. Like, it's so freaking clear to me now. And it's become clear to me over the last 10 to 15 games.
Well, I want to address something Tristan says. Coaching sucks, but if Robo and Denny make a layup, they make 99% of the time in those final 3 minutes, we win this game. Okay, maybe we win this game, but why was this game in a game where you had complete control of? Why did it come down to Denny and Rob Will having to make a layup at the end? That doesn't excuse how they got to that point and only scoring 19 points in the fourth quarter yet again.
Including a half-court buzzer beater in garbage time. They scored 16
so basically
points.
16, yeah. So, and you only scored 21 in the second quarter as well. So you had long stretches of this game where the offense sputtered and you had really no thing. So to have it come down to 2 plays, yes, if we make one of those, we'd probably win. But still, it's a microcosm of the whole offense. It's not just those plays, because a better offense generating better shots leads to a easier, more comfortable win, and you don't have to worry about missing a layup in the clutch.
Yeah, if this was a one-off where the offense completely disappeared because guys are missing layups in the clutch, but normally the offense works pretty decently there in the fourth quarter. Sure, okay, fine, we can talk about how these guys miss shots. But this happens against every good team where they become abysmal offensively in the fourth quarter. It is such a trend that I can't just sit here and be like, yeah, they just miss layups. Of course they miss layups. They always figure out how to completely crap the bed offensively in the fourth quarter. And part of it, they don't look comfortable at all doing anything offensively, and there's no rhythm to anything. So then when it comes to making a layup, everything's clunky. There's no rhythm. There's no movement. That's a bit of a byproduct of having an offense that's completely falling apart, and there's no rhythm and there's no comfortability and the spacing's off. So you got multiple people in the paint. So then you're rushing a lay-in and then you're missing a lay-in and yeah, probably should have made that lay-in. But what about all these other issues that every single time against a good team in the fourth quarter, the offense experiences all these issues every freaking time. And it's not getting better. It's not getting better. Sure, first 20 games of the season, Thiago's new. He wasn't even supposed to be the coach. These are issues. What do we always say? This is what they need to get better in the first 20 games of the season. Yeah, it's frustrating that they lose the game with this stuff, but this is just what they need to improve on as the season goes on. This is game 66. Hasn't gotten better. Has not gotten better at all. They're running out of time to sit here and be like, oh, this is still what they need to improve the rest of the season. You're 3 quarters through the season, and it's still an issue. And you can't sit there and be like, oh, just injuries. You have almost everybody. The only guy you're missing that has more turnovers than assists. Yeah, sure, he could provide an offensive spark there in the fourth quarter, but we've seen these issues even when Shaedon Sharpe was playing. It's obviously not the freaking roster. Yeah, if you had SGA, sure, yeah, you could run this offense and he'd just bail you out and you'd be fine. But you don't have SGA, so coach differently. You don't have SGA, so stop running an offense like you do have SGA. Drew Holiday, unfortunately, is not freaking SGA. So stop freaking using him in the clutch like he's freaking SGA. Yeah, I'm so freaking frustrated with the same freaking crap because it's not getting better. And this game was a perfect example of why I'm ready to move on for a new freaking coaching staff again.
Yep. I agree with Wes in chat. Our offense is easy to defend by the fourth quarter when you only have one player set and just run the same thing, stagnate in the fourth quarter. And I mean, we've seen that come to fruition every or multiple times this season. So, um, it's one thing if we get the other team in the penalty early and we're in the bonus and we can get to the line. Denny's driving and getting fouled. But we saw that how much time was left when he threw that lob to Rob Will that got called off because he got fouled on LaMelo's sixth foul. What was there, like 30 seconds left then?
Yeah, 25.
Or 25 seconds. Like, if you're not in the bonus by that point, it's just tough because, they get away with fouling and we lose a chance to score a bucket. But I mean, that's just like, what were we running that whole quarter? And like, what are we running on inbounds plays out of timeouts too? It seemed like we had something set up. We had everyone in completely different positions. There had three people standing at half court and Denny standing like 3/4 of the court on the far side. And then all of a sudden it like evolved into the same, everyone was in the same spots they normally were. Like, what was the point of that? I don't get it, man. And I don't understand why we continue to think that throwing to that short corner is a good idea on that inbounds. It hasn't worked out all season.
Well, also, why is Tamani throwing the freaking ball in, dude? You ready for this? You run this offense that's just so ISO heavy, and yeah, you got Danny and Drew out there that can isolate, but Drew did not have it going at all. He had 4 points. He was 2 for 8 from the field. He had 5 assists, 2 turnovers. Who do you have riding the freaking bench? Scoot Henderson, who was 6 for 10 today, 5 for 8 from 3. He had a bad, 2.5 minute stretch where he turned over the ball 3 times in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, he was great. Outside of that, he was great.
Well, he was great in the first half. He didn't really do much outside of the turnover in the second half, fortunately.
How much did he play in the second half?
No, I know. I'm not saying.
Instead, you know who's played a crap ton of freaking minutes in the second half? Somebody who was shooting the ball like Andre Roberson. Somebody who was shooting the ball like freaking Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, whatever bad shooter you want to insert. It was a guy that went completely cold from 3, kept chucking them up, and then, who's the guy inbounding the ball at the end of the game? It's that guy. Not a good passer. Not a good decision maker. He's the one throwing the ball in at the end of the game instead of your freaking backup point guard who's having a good game outside of 2.5 minute stretch where he turned over the ball 3 times. Outside of that, been great. He can pass. He could inbound the freaking ball. Nope. We're going to have Tamani do it again, and then we're going to turn it over again, because why the hell not? That's what we do. And then, I mean, the game was pretty much over this point, but then they have the ball. They're inbounding up 3 with 9 seconds left. What do we need, Eric? A steal. You know who's not out there? Matisse Thybulle. If you're not going to play Matisse Thybulle in that situation, why the hell do you have him on the roster? The one thing he does better than anybody else on this roster is play passing lanes and get deflections and force turnovers and get steals. And you're in a situation at the end of the game, you need to get a steal, and he's not out there. Like, what the hell are we doing in terms of the situational stuff is so stupid. It's so stupid. Like, this coaching staff has no idea what they're doing late in close games. They can't even be like, they can't even compute, we're down 3, they have the ball with 9 seconds left, we really need a steal. Matisse Thybulle's really good at getting steals, he should be in the game. They can't even think that far, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like they're a little in over their head or something, but shouldn't be.
It's freaking insane. That's the one time I'm begging Matisse Thybulle to play, dude. That's the whole time I'm begging him to play. Because it's the one time that makes more sense to play him in that situation than any other situation ever, and you don't do it. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know.
Man, this loss is so frustrating. This might be the most frustrating loss of the year. This is a game we absolutely had, and it would have been a good win, like you said.
Like, part of me is super pissed off. Part of me is like, of course. Like, why am I, I mean, I'm not surprised, but like, I expected it. When we were taking the ball out on the sideline, and I saw we were running like 4 guys into the front court. Dude, okay, hold on. What the hell was that just design in general? Why are you wasting like 2 of your 5 seconds you have to inbound the ball? Running guys from the backcourt into the front court where none of them are an option to inbound the ball, and then basically you just like kind of run everybody down, and then you just screen away for Jeremy, where they can just switch. And now you're stuck, and you're going against the 5-second clock, and you have to inbound it into the corner, which we know is awful. That play design was who came up with, who drew that up? Did anybody see anybody draw that up? Like, was that Tiago that drew it up? Whoever drew that up should. I'm trying not to be too mean, but honestly, whoever drew that up should maybe never coach again. Like, okay, that's a little harsh. I take it back. I'm frustrated. That design was so freaking bad. Like, you're just wasting half the time you have to inbound the ball just running guys from the backcourt into the front court with nothing happening.
Except for getting caught in the short corner with a tough pass and turnover. It's
like, okay, our inbound play when we screen away and then put somebody in the corner doesn't work. Maybe it'll work if we just don't start there. Maybe if we run from 40 feet away into those spots, it'll work.
So close.
But also, like, holy hell. Like, the pass is so bad. Tamani should not be the one inbounding, dude. You got to give your guy a chance to catch the ball. Like, why are you going to throw him deeper into the corner? You got to let Denny be the guy to shield off. Give your guy a chance to catch. There's just so much wrong all the time in crunch time situations with this team. Talk about it for hours.
Well, I'm sorry, but Tamani, I know who knows? Players on minutes restriction, limited options off the bench right now. I don't know. But Tamani should not be playing 36 minutes right now. He's not playing well enough to deserve that kind of leash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. He killed this team in the second half. In the second half, he was 1 for 7 from 3. 1 for 2 inside the arc. The shot he made was incredibly tough. The little 9-foot, offhanded floater. Like, great shot, like, impressive shot, but also, like, not necessarily the shot that you want. But he's 2 for 9 in the second half. He completely shot them out of the game. Almost all his threes were wide open.
It also feels like he's tired, like he can't.
So he's not cutting. He's just sitting behind the 3-point line, chucking threes.
On defense, you can't guard as well as you can because he's tired.
Yeah.
And like I said, I know people are on minutes restriction. Apparently, Denny was on a minutes restriction for one game. He's off now. Like, I don't understand at all what's going on. Denny looked exhausted in the fourth quarter. Had his hands on his knees several times, but like, let's leave him out there. Like, let's not worry about his minutes restriction. But apparently, everyone else on the team has a bunch. Like, I don't know.
Did I miss any donations before this latest one? YouTube's not showing it for me. My YouTube is all glitched. Shout out to Tristan with a $2 donation.
It's all Tristan.
He says Tamani is a negative value contract at this point. I disagree. I think he shouldn't be playing 36 minutes a game when when the biggest part of his role is to chase around the best opposing player and play with a ton of effort defensively, and then like cut and move on offense. It's hard to play 36 minutes in a game. It's hard. And if he hasn't gone from 3 all game like he did against Philadelphia, sure, play him 36 minutes. But when he is clearly having a cold stretch from 3 in the second half, and his cold stretches are obvious from a mile away, that's when you give him some more rest. And I know Scoot had 4 fouls, but he only played 19 minutes. Play Scoot more. Like, he had a great first half. The Scoot thing is frustrating because it's like he has a great first half. He was great last game. He has a bad, like, 2.5 minute stretch, and his minutes get cut. And he can't even play 20 minutes because he had a bad 2.5 minute stretch. We're talking about a guy who was struggling with his freaking confidence, like, clearly struggling with the mental side of the game. Broke out of that last game, was great in the first half. So it's like, okay, he's starting to get his confidence back, get his swagger back. But, he had a bad 2.5 minute stretch. Nope, got to put a squash to it. That's how you ruin a player's freaking confidence. Like, it's so freaking stupid. Did it win you the game? Nope. Yeah, his 3 turnovers were bad and kind of sparked a little Charlotte run, but guess what? The offense down the stretch was also freaking terrible. And it wasn't because of Scoot in the fourth quarter, because he barely freaking played. So, just stupid mismanagement of minutes and stupid lineups and stupid offense and stupid sideline inbounds plays, and it's just can't even play Thibault when you need a steal. Have Tamani inbounding the ball. It's the same freaking situation that you always turn over the ball on. It's just so much stuff stacked on top of each other that causes them to lose a game like this.
It's like they don't know. It's either one extreme or the other. Like earlier in the season, it was frustrating. I know we didn't have Scoot in this equation until recently, but the minutes distribution was frustrating, and like players getting taken out after a few minutes, and they were playing like 12 guys some games, and it just seemed like no one was getting in a great rhythm because of that. And they were playing at a faster pace, but still you need time to get into the rhythm. And now it's like the exact opposite. It's like we're taxing our starters, and and now we're not utilizing the bench as much as we were, and it's weird because we're healthier than we've been pretty much all season, yet we're playing bench guys less. Like nothing makes sense right now. I don't get it.
Krejci only plays 12 minutes in this game. His only three he made. At some point, he's going to bust out of his slump. But guess what? If he's getting his minutes cut to like 10 to 12 minutes a game, he's probably not playing enough to like truly bust out of his slump, because he'll either be like 0 for 1, or 1 for 1 from 3, or 1 for 2 from 3, or 0 for 2 from 3. Like, he plays 12 minutes. Meanwhile, you got Chris Murray playing 13 minutes. What did he do today? What did Chris Murray do today? He got 3 rebounds. It was 0 for 2. And 0 for 1 from 3. What did he do? What? And he plays.
Yeah, that one where he got blocked from behind.
Yeah. So Krejci plays 12. He plays 13. Thibault played 11. Thibault had 2 steals. He was a +7. Like, I would rather Thibault play over Chris Murray.
I'm pretty sure they haven't announced that Thibault they're just not going to play him more than like 2 shifts a game. I don't.
He's on an 11-minute restriction. That's why they couldn't play him the final 9 seconds.
Something like that. Yeah.
It was just stupid. Like, okay.
Well, a lot of people in chat are mentioning. You also remember, Tori, when our defense fell off because Blake Wesley got hurt as well. You also had him available to put in for defensive purposes at the end. He's quick and could potentially get a steal as well. Yeah. But
I mean, did they have any? They didn't have any timeouts, so I guess maybe you don't want too many guys. Like, if you do get a steal, you need to be able to score. So like, I would put Scoot out there because Scoot's also quick and can make a three and etc. He can make half court shots. He hit one last year and he hit one today. Like, that should be the sidelines inbound. Inbound it to Scoot at half court and let him shoot a half court shot. Be better than what we run.
Well, I mean, getting any shot off would be better than turning the ball over.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah. Anyway, the minutes are freaking ridiculous. Tamani playing 36 minutes when he was that brutal in the second half is wild to me. When you have Krejci made his only three, your offense in the fourth quarter falls apart. You need somebody out there that can maybe hit a couple threes. That guy was obviously not Tumani, but he's still jacking him up. It's just frustrating how the coaching staff just doesn't really learn from these types of things. It's the same exact stuff as we saw at the start of the season, and it's what's going to hold them back probably from a playoff spot. Like these issues, without these issues, they'd be the 8th seed right now. We'd be talking about having 2 chances to play their way into the playoffs. We'd be talking about trying to play for win the 7-8 playing game. That's how close they are to the 8th seed. But these issues and the inability to fix or improve upon these issues is why they're in 10th place.
They've been talking about that with Dame when he was on, about how important it would be to get a, worst case scenario, you get a home playoff game as the 8th seed or a home play-in game to make the playoffs.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta win games like this. You have to win games like this. The last time they beat a above 500 team, or even a 500 team, they beat Philadelphia when they didn't have Embiid. So when was the last time they beat a 500 or better team that had their best player, or a top 2 player, because Embiid and Maxey?
I thought you looked this up last year. Was that the Rockets?
I was looking at top 10 team.
Yeah.
The Rockets, they didn't have Şengün in those games.
That's right.
The Lakers didn't have a number of guys. When we beat San Antonio January 3rd, they didn't have Wemby.
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans, Dallas. Boston, I guess you could count Boston because Jason Tatum was out all year and they were still a good team.
Yeah.
So, Boston in late December. Since then, the only wins above 500 teams came at San Antonio on January 3rd. They didn't have Wemby. Versus Houston on January 7th and January 9th. They didn't have Şengün. Versus the Lakers on January 17th. They didn't have Luka. They didn't have Austin Reeves.
Tristan says the Heat on January 22nd was the last one.
Are the Heat above 500? Oh, yeah. Damn, they're 37 and 29. Oh, they're on a 6-game winning streak. Okay. So 1 game since the new year where you beat an above 500 team that wasn't missing a top 2 player. You don't have that many wins in general, but the ones that we do have, teams missing a top 2 player. Phoenix was without Dylan Brooks, who's been awesome for them, completely changed their trajectory. Yeah, it's just this team is not capable of beating good, healthy teams right now. It hasn't been capable of really beating good, healthy teams, and a lot of it's the same story. We saw it against Houston a couple of games ago. Fourth quarter offense, you only scored 99 points. Today we only score 101 points after Scoot hits a half-court buzzer beater. And what were the issues in both these games? Couldn't score the freaking ball in the fourth quarter. That fourth quarter, they had 17 points. This fourth quarter, until the Scoot half-court buzzer beater, they had 16 points. It's the same freaking story.
And once again, I'm going to preface this by saying, root for the team how you want to root for them. But this is why I get frustrated with, well, this season they just had a lot of injuries and they did their best. 30 wins is pretty good considering all the adversity they had this year or whatever. And while that there might be some truth to that, it's just completely ignoring games like this that you should have freaking won, and you got out coached, you got outplayed, and you just let another team come back and snatch this one from you. And it's just some of those people don't account for those kind of things when they look at the positive. Well, we had injuries. What are we going to do? And this coach is pretty good considering like what he's had to work with all season. That kind of stuff. It's just,
excuses for mediocrity, and then the coach goes and says like, "Hey, we tried, and we just didn't make 45% of our threes, and because we just didn't. We could have made more shots." Like, it's just the mediocre mindset. It is the mediocre mindset that I hate, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this franchise celebrating anything close to mediocrity and then excusing anything they can. Games like this that you should have won. I understand we were tanking last year. We're not tanking this year. We're not tanking. Like, Charlotte's another team that surpassed us. Detroit surpassed us. Everyone said, you don't want to be Detroit. People said, you don't want to be Charlotte. Both those teams have surpassed us. Shoot, next year the Wizards might surpass us because they'll have AD. And, well, maybe not because you're giving up 83 to Bam Adebayo. But, yeah, I
probable 83 of all time.
I know, dude. I was at rec and just got done with my game, and somebody came up to me and was just like, "Look at this," and I see 77 points, and I'm like, "Who?" Look, Bam Adebayo has 77 points. Damn, he really almost beat Kobe. The game's still going on. What? There's 3 minutes left. Wow. Yeah. It was funny. That's crazy. And I know they shamelessly stat hunted, but bro, like, true. Obviously getting 83 is more respectable if it's just in the flow of everything. But it's still freaking impressive no matter how hard you stat hunt to score 83 points in an NBA game. Like, yeah. I'm not going to just completely write that off like, oh, they were shameless with it. Like, yeah, obviously they kind of manipulated the game to get them there, but it's 83 points. If it was that easy to do that, it would have happened before now. So, yeah, like, I'm kind of in between the people that are like, oh, that's such BS, it's not, valid, and the people that are, like, completely celebrating. I'm kind of in the middle there, but it's still impressive no matter how hard you stat hunt. Like, anyway, I don't know. Anything else down the stretch or style play or anything frustrate you in this one? I kind of got everything off my chest.
The general stupidity. General stupidity, Tori. It's like we got up 19. This isn't necessarily down the stretch, but it'll lead to there. So we get up 19, and then I felt like we were like playing not to blow the lead, not playing to increase the lead, right? And then the Hornets come back, and you can see the body language shift or whatever. But the whole game, like the whole second half, it felt like the Blazers were thinking they had this game won and just could cruise control their way to the end. And they just so casual, so many turnovers, so many stupid decisions with the ball. Rob, Will, and Denny overpassing to each other when they both had open shots. stupid passes, turnovers, things like that. It just so many things seem like ball watching on a rebound, like you mentioned earlier. Not
Yeah.
not guarding certain players on certain plays. I don't know. It's just the stagnant offense from the coaching staff. It was just like, man, why? It's like they get in these funks and they're just no one does anything about it. Like no one tries to like alter it or like do something to like rile everyone up, and it's frustrating.
Yeah. Um, the general demeanor from Tiago is a little too nice for my liking. If that's who he is, that's who he is. But that's more assistant coach. Like, this team needs somebody to get on their ass. This team needs somebody that isn't just going to excuse everything away and go in there in a press conference and just be like, we tried, except we didn't really rebound. Um, this is why, like, I know some people are like, oh, Mike Malone would be no good without Jokic, but Mike Malone would hold his team accountable. Mike Malone wouldn't stand for that. And I think Mike Malone would be able to freaking run a sideline inbounds and run some sets. Like, they had a creative offense around Jokic. Obviously, you have a different offense if you don't have a Jokic. But, I mean, we don't really run anything. So, bring in somebody with championship experience that can do something offensively and will get on his team and won't just go out there and excuse everything. Like, but then just on top of that, on a more surface level, like, you have all season to improve these issues and you don't. That's not something I can be confident in moving forward. Like, if you are unable over an entire season to fix the issues that you're struggling with, that shows that, to me, that you don't really know how to adjust or do something different or address issues and improve them. The schematical stuff that they do is frustrating on both ends of the floor. The lack of
Well,
situational awareness, like, I don't think you just get that overnight. And I don't think, if this team's trying to win next year, I don't have faith that Tiago is capable of being the coach that they need to lead them somewhere meaningful. Because all these issues are just going to be much worse in a playoff setting offensively. And situational basketball is very important in a playoff setting. And I gave him a lot of grace because I said, okay, yeah, they have issues, but he's new. I'll give him time to address these issues. Time's up, and they haven't been addressed. So that's why my tone has changed.
yeah, and this is why, because a lot of people will say, well, like we had the comment earlier, if Rob or Denny just make a shot, we're not here or we're not at this point possibly. So I get that, but let's just take the inbounds play, right? Okay, I would love to be here saying, okay, I see what they tried to do, but Tamani just threw a terrible pass or Denny slipped or like whatever happened on the play. You can make whatever excuse, right? But if I'm thinking about this and the more I think about it, it pisses me off more. And that's the sign of terrible coaching. Because what was the point of the play? We were really trying to get Denny the ball in the corner, trapped in the corner, after trying to do that multiple times this year and it not working. So this coaching staff actually sat there in the freaking huddle and thought, you know what? This hasn't worked all season. It's terrible. Even if you get the ball inbounded, it's in a really bad spot. You know what? That's what we're going to run right here. That's the play, guys. What are you doing, coaching staff? What are you doing? They literally thought that was a good play, even if it got inbounded. Like, after all the things that have happened trying to do that play this year. So you like, to me, it's like, I don't understand, because like I said, if they would have they had it lined up like they were going to run something different. They had 3 people at half court. They had Denny in like 3/4 the way down. They could have done some like fake screens and had someone go back door. They could have done multiple things on it, but they all just ran back to the normal spots, and then they tried to get Jeremy coming off, going up top, and Denny going to the corner. And I'm just thinking, like, okay, even if you get the ball inbounded, what are we running? We're just running another ISO play? Like, there was... And then before that, we're running even Lamar and Kevin Calabro knew that we needed to get a shot off quick to go 2 for 1, and possibly have 2 chances to win instead of 1. And they just dribble out and waste the shot clock, and go down. So, like, I want to say, hey, you ran this creative out of bounds play. It just didn't work out. The players didn't execute it right, or something happened. They missed a shot, like Tiago said. And that's fine. But I don't understand. Did they just have a brain fart there at the end and just think that this play was going to magically work and that they didn't need to go 2 for 1? Or, like, I would love to have these questions be asked, like, hey, Tiago, that inbounds play hasn't worked all season. Why do you keep going back to it? Why didn't you go for the 2 for 1 there instead of wasting out the shot clock and then having to foul and then being down 3 instead of having possibly 2 chances to win? Unfortunately, he's not going to get those questions with the softballs he gets. But it's frustrating that this coaching staff is putting this team in those positions. And so if they can't even do simple stuff like that, right? Like, I have no faith that they can fix the stagnation for a whole quarter. They can't even do it on one freaking play, Tori. Like, so how are they going to fix an entire quarter of bad offense? Like, they I'm sorry, but I'm with you. These past few games, it's just been pretty obvious this coaching staff is in over their heads.
Yeah, like, sure, a couple plays go differently. They win this game. We're happy about the result. But
right.
The issue is the process and situational stuff that puts them in a position where instead of winning this game, by 5-6 points, where, like, okay, a couple things can go wrong, we can still win this game. Instead, it's like, oh, a couple things go wrong. They call the foul on the lob to Rob Will, so it doesn't count. Like, we lose the game because of that. We lose the game because of these mistakes. The process down the stretch, the offense down the stretch, you shouldn't have 16 points at the end of the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, you should have 25. 25 isn't even good. But if you have 25, you're up 2 to 3 possessions. Instead of sitting there like, oh man, if they just made one more layup, like, yeah, we would have won. They shouldn't have 16 points at the end of regulation. That's the issue, and that's the constant issue that we have seen constantly. So, listen, like, it's, things are never going to be perfect, but when it's the same issues over and over again with no sign of getting better, and this coaching staff has seen the issues and then seemingly have no idea how to fix them or do something differently, straight down to the inbounds play, straight down to the sideline inbounds play. Like, yeah, okay, gotta go, because that play was the nail in the coffin for me. That sideline out of bounds play was the nail in the coffin.
Well, it's worse too when you think about how going into this season, And when he took over as interim coach, the previous coach, Chauncey, before that, all said they knew that the offense had to be different this year. It had to be. And they had to have more. They could not have these types of quarters where there was no movement and stuff like that. And, we got the Chauncey. It will be, it will be better. So everyone knew this roster would have these issues if you had a stagnated offense that relied on ISOs and stuff like that. And that couldn't be the case this year. And so once again, I have to question why the coaching staff in a game this late in the season still hasn't figured that out, how to get their players to play like they said they had to play going into the season. And Thiago was part of that coaching staff that knew that heading into the season. So, I mean, at this point, it's just there's something not connecting with the coaching staff to the players, or they're not teaching it right, or they're not teaching anything. Like, I don't know, something's going on, and just it's sad, man, because you just think about if you had a coach that actually got his players to play the way they claim they want them to play, and just think how much better this team would probably be by now this season.
Yep. Yep. We haven't even looked at the team stats. I'll just say this. The defensive rebounding is inexcusable. It's straight up inexcusable. Mm-hmm. Last night I watched Coach Calipari 30 for 30, and I had some clips from him in practice. And they were running a drill where it's kind of what I talked about earlier. Two guys battling for the boards, like one guy's inside position, and the only way that you pass the drill as the defensive rebounder is if you go grab the ball. You can't tip it to yourself. You got to go grab it. And you got a guy, guy trying to get an offensive board just draped all over you, and they drill that, right? And Cal's like honest guys, obviously, in the NBA. Cal didn't have success, and you can't be on your guys the same way you can be in college. But, like, at the same time, dude, I am so tired of Blazer players going for the ball and just kind of like try to like tip it to themselves. They don't go grab it with two hands. And then the ball gets tipped around, and then it's anybody's ball, and oh, look, they got the offensive rebound. I'm also so freaking tired of people watching Donovan Clingan be the only one trying to get a defensive board, and then he gets taken out for defensive rebounding purposes. Nobody else is helping him on the freaking boards. Nobody else is mixing it up. Nobody else is pursuing the ball. Nobody pursues the ball other than Donovan Clingan when he's in the game on the defensive glass. They watch him. And if they are close to a rebound, they'll like tip it and be all soft. They won't go grab it. It's just soft. It's soft. And it's not held accountable. And it's freaking frustrating. And I want a coach that'll get on players for that. Because it's not something where it's like you address that kindly. Like, hey, Jeremy, can you please like try to grab it with two hands? Like go jump like towards the ball when it comes off the rim, please. It's like, just go grab the freaking ball, dude. Just go grab it. It's rebounding. Go grab the freaking ball. Box out and go grab it. Next person to not do it, something about like set some sort of standard. There's no standard for defensive rebound. There's a bunch of people watching Donovan Clingan. The only guy that was held accountable for defensive rebound was Donovan Clingan. And I understand like that last play, like he was kind of weak. He got pushed. He needs to be stronger. But at the same time, this guy in 26 minutes had 11 rebounds. Robert Williams in 21 minutes had 10 rebounds. So the two centers in basically 47 minutes, basically the entire game, have 21 rebounds. The rest of the team, so the other four spots, do you know how many rebounds they had?
21.
21 rebounds. You're getting half your rebounding production from one of your 5 positions. Obviously, the big's going to rebound more, but there's not enough help from other guys on the freaking boards. And it's been an issue all year.
Well, I just did the math between the missed field goals and the missed free throws by the Hornets. They got offensive rebound on 16 of 58 possible attempts. So that's 27.5% of the time they got the ball back.
Well, the missed free throws the first free throw too, so it's probably even worse than that.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. So true. Didn't even consider that.
Yeah. So yeah.
At best, it was 27.
Yeah, that's too much. And then the second half, it's just you can't. One of the biggest effort things is defensive rebounding. Is boxing your guy out and then going and pursuing the ball and being strong and grabbing it. That's one of the biggest effort things out there on the court to do. You cannot come in a press conference after a game like that and say, I'm proud of our effort, except we didn't grab defensive rebounds. Like, yeah, dude, that's one of the most basic effort things out there on the freaking floor, and you guys suck at it. You guys don't pursue the ball. Their effort is not some great thing. It's not some great thing, dude. Like, they're a basic team in terms of effort, and they act like they try harder than everybody else. When they're getting beat they are the worst team at grabbing defensive loose balls in the league. They are one of the worst defensive rebounding teams in the league. You can't sit here and act like you play harder than everybody else, and you're just proud of the effort all the freaking time. It's just it's BS. It's complete soft BS. It's basically, to me, it's like, we did so much wrong in this game, but you know what? We tried, and that's what matters. You don't coach pee-wee freaking basketball.
Yeah, well, I mean, I coached third grade basketball, third grade girls this year, and I mean, once that light bulb goes off when someone realizes, hey, if I just go hard after a rebound, I can get almost every rebound, right? You don't even have to be the biggest player on the court. It's all just a matter of who's more aggressive, who wants the ball more. And that's true at every level. If you have 5 guys who are, that's my ball, I'm going to get that ball every time, then you'll get almost every rebound, right? Because that's all it takes, right? Is just that determination to get it. And that's why it has been frustrating when people, including the coach, applaud the effort in games like this when it's not that good of effort. What we're just saying things basically to say it.
Yeah, I am tired of it. I hope that Tom Dundon will come in and not be soft as hell and not just accept this. Stats flow, Eric Olson says, hustle stats, deflections, loose balls, recovered offensive rebounds. We don't do well in this area. Yeah, I mean, offensive rebounds, they do a decent job, but they miss a lot of threes. They miss a lot of threes.
Playing one person.
Yeah, it's Klingen. Klingen plays hard every night. Klingen competes every night. Klingen tries to do the little stuff, tries to do the dirty work. He's the one that gets benched when they can't defensive rebound, though. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's freaking stupid. It's idiotic. I am just tired of this feeling that I've had for 6 years. Since I started the channel, I've just had this feeling like this organization is just okay with mediocrity. And the guy coach is just okay with mediocrity. Everything's just about, as long as we try to win the game that there's tens of thousands of fans in the stadium for and that we're making millions of dollars to play, as long as we try to win it, we're okay. Never mind the fact that you don't rank that well in hustle stats and don't pursue defensive boards, so you can't even sit here and say that we tried our best, because they didn't try their best. If this was a playing game for them, like in their minds, they probably would have won it. They would have had extra intensity, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm over it. This is why I wanted new ownership. This is why I wanted to completely clean house.
Here we're typing.
Yeah, we're just listening to you type. Anyway, have fun with that essay.
This wasn't related to what I was typing, but there was like an argument going on in chat about whether Thiago and Cronin are a package deal, like if they'll both be given 1 year. I do think this situation is different than most situations in that Thiago's an interim coach. So he's not – it's like if Chauncey was still the coach after signing that extension last offseason, like maybe he gets a year to learn. But I don't know if Thiago even accepts a 1 year deal or like he's not, they're not going to sign him to like a 4 or 5 year contract like most coaches get. Yeah. And Thiago's most likely not signing a 1 year deal to be a lame duck coach for a year. I mean, maybe he would, but like, I don't know why we offer that to him either. So I think this is different. Like even if Dundon wanted to come in and give whoever was in here time, I think it makes complete sense with the Chauncey situation, Thiago being an interim, that you just hire a coach moving forward this offseason. I don't think you worry about giving anyone a chance. You just find out who you want to get and hire that person this year.
Yep.
As for Cronin, who knows? I don't know if he'll be given time or if Dundon will want to bring in someone else. There's really no. It's just a guess by anyone's. If anyone's saying they think one way or the other with that regard.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. If you're new to the show, I mean, I've had times where I've ranted this year, but this is like this game and then Thiago's comments just pissed me off more than maybe any game all year, because at the end of the day, what pisses me off is like accepting and excusing mediocrity when you should be better. Like, I am somebody personally, like, I don't settle for mediocrity. That's part of the reason why you guys are watching this channel. You know, it's one of the reasons you guys are watching this channel. You see that HMA logo down there in the bottom right? See how much sports content that's across on YouTube in April. Okay, if you watch other sports content, just wait until April. See how many places you'll see that logo. I don't like settling for mediocrity, and I don't like my team settling for freaking mediocrity, and it drives me crazy when it feels like that's the mindset. So, Tom Dundon doesn't seem like the type to settle for mediocrity. It's what we need. It's what we need. We need a coach coming in here like frustrated about how his team is allergic to defensive rebounding and allergic to passing it into a teammate on a sideline out of bounds, and maybe has enough imagination to try different stuff when things are broken. That'd be great.
That also reminds me, I did find it funny that they had to like talk about the McDonald's 100-point play. Like in a loss when
they had to play it.
Shot at that.
Yeah.
Scoot did get people sausage and muffins in the morning though.
Yeah. I mean, let's talk a little bit about Scoot, because I guess we haven't talked about Scoot. I mean, I guess we'll talk about players now in general. Let's start with Scoot. I mean, that stretch where he had 3 turnovers like quickly was rough. Outside of that, This was he had 17 points efficiently in 19 minutes. Sure, he had a half-court buzzer beater. But I'll say this, for a guy that couldn't make a shot from anywhere for 7 games, like now, he's 5 for 8 from 3 and hit a shot from half court. And it looked pure. Like, that's quite the turnaround the past couple of games. It's a great sign the past couple of games. 1 assist in only 19 minutes is kind of weird. But, I talked about how I think he should have played more minutes. At the end of the day, though, it's obvious that 7-game stretch was a slump. Like, was a brutal, awful slump. Well, there was a lot of people saying a lot of crazy stuff. He should retire. He should go play in China. Blazers should cut him. And it all sounded completely ridiculous to me. And now he has a couple games like this. Hopefully some people have snapped back to reality that he's not the worst player in the freaking league. Obviously, he needs to find more consistency and have this type of shooting night more consistently. Obviously, he's not going to go 5 for 8 every night. He's not going to shoot above 50% from 3. The shot looked good today. The form looks good. Like, it looked better even when he was missing shots. So it's kind of like, why is he missing shots? Now, last couple of nights, he's been hitting jumpers and playing good basketball. So, love to see it.
Yeah. It was cool to see him have the first half he did coming off the last game. Thought maybe he was going to go for like 30 again. But yeah, just good to see him play well again, back-to-back games. Fortunately, second half couldn't get going, whether that was the rotation or just the turnovers getting in his head or something, but didn't quite have the same success that second half. But I'll take what he did in the first half coming off the last game. Just good sign, hopefully, for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Like half of this season he's been good. Half this season he's been absolutely horrible. The past couple of games in the first 4 or 5 games he's good, and then the 7 games in the middle of that was really brutal. So yeah, like he's coming back off an injury in the middle of a season. It's not easy. I have wondered if like the hamstring is not, I don't know, like it could be like completely healthy but weaker. Like kind of what Marv says in chat. I don't know what it's like to come back from that, but
it's probably just as simple as you're still trying to see if you can trust it. Like you're still, and that's when you start thinking about it, but it's like, okay, I haven't gone this hard on a drive against a actual defender, like just stuff like that. It's like hard to like know if you're 100% until you're just doing it. But yeah, it's always something that like when you're out that long, it's always like curious how you're going to respond to playing minutes and stuff. So I think it could just be as simple as he's still thinking about the injury when he's playing a little bit.
Jim says to me, Scoot doesn't pass the eye test for the last 3 seasons. I mean, what is the eye test? I mean, here's the thing with eye tests: an inefficient scorer that has turnover issues, and I'm not talking about Sharp necessarily. Like I'm just kind of talking in general here. Like a guy that shoots a lot of shots that are like very pretty and aesthetically pleasing, but is a little inefficient and then has turnover issues, isn't much of a playmaker for others. The eye test for a lot of people tends to overrate those players because of how, man, look, that move looked like Kobe. That turnaround fadeaway looked like Kobe. Even if he makes it 30% of the time, it's not a great shot. I mean, like it's aesthetically pleasing. Like that's the problem with eye tests, I think. So is that the eye test? Like, I don't know. Did he not pass the eye test last game? To me, he passed the eye test last game. So I don't know. I don't know. Like that's the thing with eye tests is anybody can say somebody does or doesn't pass the eye test, and it doesn't really mean much. So without like further explanation, I don't really understand what you're saying, to be honest. Also, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Do you want to just answer questions for 10 minutes and then I'll be back?
Sure.
Okay. I'll be here to fix the collab cam, by the way.
What's up, chat? All right. Well, I need questions from chat if I'm going to answer questions from chat. Big Tune says, new coach, please. Gregory's on the Taylor Jenkins train. Yeah, we know. B. Roy says, bro is so touchy about Scoot. Yeah. Just... How many fingers is Scoot holding up? I have no idea. Why no Wesley? I don't know. We wanted to play Tamani 36 minutes and overextend Denny when he's coming off a back injury. Which players you think are underperforming as of right now? Well, I mean, Drew had a bad game tonight, but I don't think he's necessarily underperforming. Veet, since he came here, I think is underperforming. I mean, Scoot until the last two games definitely was underperforming. Hopefully he's turned that around. Jeremy's been fine, I think, other than like the rebounding issues, but that's always something that's been a concern. So I don't think that's necessarily him underperforming. That's just who he is. So I mean, it's pretty much Kamara. Yeah, it's Tamani. I mean, Donovan tonight was a little disappointing with the 3 of 9 shooting. But he's been good overall, I think. Yeah, I think Tamani is the What are my expectations these next games? I mean, the schedule's pretty weak. We should be winning a bunch of these. So my expectation is to not play down to the competition and get some wins and show some freaking fight. It just like tonight just seemed like they let Charlotte just right back into the game and punk them, and they just were fine to let it happen. That's frustrating. Like, that scrappy, do whatever it takes to win mindset has definitely eluded them this year. All right, Taylor Packer asks, do you think there's any chance Lakers let go of JJ Redick after the season if they disappoint in the playoffs? Would you want him? I really like JJ, says Taylor. So I think there is a chance he gets let go. I mean, when you're the coach of the Lakers, you always could get let go. But here's the thing. I really like what JJ said after getting the job and his mindset towards what he wanted to do in terms of running sets, in terms of how he wanted to run the team and stuff. But as his time there has gone on, it seems like it's another example of what we were talking about earlier. And that's coaches who say the right things, but don't know how to teach that or get their team to play the way they want. And the truly good coaches get their teams to play a certain way, no matter what the circumstance is, or what the what your injury situation is, or what your personnel is. If you want to get them to play a certain way, this is our identity. This is how it looks. Okay. I'm sick of the coaches that talk about an identity or talk about certain things that they know are more successful and then not being able to execute those or have your team go out there and execute them. So that leads me to um, Samuel's question on who I'd like as the next coach. And, there's a bunch of assistants. I mean, it's hard to know like how good they'll be as a head coach versus as an assistant coach. So, I mean, I'm fine with trying to find the next Charles Lee we play tonight. Um, those type of coaches, Will Hardy. I'd be cool with getting an assistant like that. Maybe a younger guy with some energy. I mean, but Tiago's a young guy. He was an assistant this year. Um, I don't know. But that always it keeps leading me back to someone who I think did a really good job, regardless of who was on the court, regardless of the roster, regardless of injuries. Um, got his team to play hard and for the most part play the right way. And I don't think he got or I do think he got the wrong end like of this, or he got the brunt of the blame for something that was not his fault, and that's Taylor Jenkins. I do think he got his team to play hard. They were always a tough team to play, even when Jaw was out, and I don't think he can really be held responsible for the Jaw situation. And now they have another coach, and Jaw's butting heads with him, and they want to trade Jaw, but he's got no value. Whatever. So I do think that Taylor Jenkins would be good. If they went the Mike Malone route, I'm not a huge Mike Malone fan, but I mean I could see why they tried that. Um, Same thing with Tom Thibodeau. Not, I mean, he's never really been successful in terms of like a championship level. But I mean, outside of being an assistant back in the day with Boston, but um, I would be somewhat excited to see him implement his defensive schemes and stuff like that to this personnel with Klingon and Tamani and those guys. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I would try to find um the next young hotshot assistant. Um, you know, he gets a lot of crap sometimes, especially from ungrateful OKC fans, but I put Dagnall in the um same category as I was talking about with Jenkins. Like, there was a year Oklahoma City didn't make the playoffs, but I think they were 10th in defensive rating most of the year. I don't know if they finished that high, but they were like really good defensively, and you could see the schemes, you could see them play hard, and and then once they got better players into that system and players that match the system better, you could see how good of a coach he was. So like I don't know. So I kind of feel that way about Taylor Jenkins, but I don't know. Um, Honestly, though, where do you see us at before the play-in starts? Like what seed? I mean, it feels like. I mean, we're gonna make the play-in. It's not a case of that. So the weird thing is, like, we don't even have to play well necessarily, and we could still be in the running for the 8th or ninth seed still, but I don't know. It feels like the 10th seed, we're kind of just, like, resigned to being the 10th seed, so, yeah. Who was the best Blazers coach since 2000? Um, so what, you got Stotts, McMillan, Billups, um Kevin Pritchard was our interim coach for a end of the season tank job. Let's see. I guess Dunleavy would have been our coach the first couple years after 2000. Was that the Maurice Cheeks era too? Definitely not him. Man, I don't know. I guess man, I don't know. I mean, you guys, maybe some of you don't. I was never a fan of Stotts. I thought early on Stotts was good, but I think he got way too stubborn and complacent and relied way too much on pick and roll and didn't have any kind of counters. Caleb Canales says, William, yeah, he was our interim coach for a while. Some people thought he should get the job. Was that when that was when we hired Stotts, right? But people
Yeah.
thought,
My answer is early tenure Terry Stotts. Early
yeah,
tenure, like first 3 years.
yeah,
Because after that, yeah, it was downhill.
yep,
The results weren't downhill if you count
yeah,
2019 Western Conference Finals, but I mean that was basically just like Dame carrying the team, CJ carrying the team. Like it wasn't a good coach job necessarily. So nobody could explain. Like everybody's like, oh, they made the Western Conference Finals. Like Terry did a good job. Like nobody could explain what he was doing well. Nobody could explain it. I mean, they probably don't make it if Maurice Harkless doesn't cramp up and he's forced to sub in Rodney Hood, which won them that 4 overtime game in the semifinals. So it's like if he had his way, would they have even made it? He comes out in game one and he's running drop scheme on Steph and he torches him, and like the national media was like, "What is this guy doing?" He was asking about it post game, and he was getting annoyed. He wasn't getting his typical softball questions. So, like, we don't evaluate coaching just based off results, because then you're not actually talking about coaching at all. You're just talking about what the result is. Bring back Terry. Stop it. Stop it.
yeah. So this is a common thing. So you see this all the time with, oh, Tiaga's so bad, it's making me want Chauncey Billups back and stuff like that. Just because one person is bad does not mean that the other person was good or should be back to coaching or whatever. Stotts had 9 years. He sucked the last couple of years. He was terrible. And we went that Western Conference Finals run. He was not a good coach post run to the finals. So it's just because someone else ends up being worse of a coach. Like Chauncey was a worse coach than Stotts, even in his last couple of years. Like that doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that means Stotts should come back or we made a mistake firing him or whatever. Yeah, we've had some bad coaches, man. Finexus, how do you guys think we would look today, or where we'd be if we ended up hiring Becky? Becky Hammond was apparently one of the finalists for the job back in 2021. I don't know. I mean, she's done a good job with the Aces. Um, yeah, it's hard to know how any of these people would do. I said that about just any number of assistant coaches earlier. It's hard to know how they'll do once they do it. And um, I hate to say this, but you don't know how NBA players would react to having her as coach. Hopefully they would have been fine, but yeah, I mean, obviously, I think pretty much any kind of respectable coach would have done better than Billups ended up doing. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe things turned out a lot different.
I think it's a very valid question as to whether or not she would have been able to effectively hold players accountable as an NBA coach.
Mhm.
Um, that's just kind of the reality of it. Is it's a question whether, you know, just because the way guys react to men generally is going to be a little bit different than they react to women, whether you think that's right or not. I don't have, I'm not stating my opinion on whether I think that's right or not, or whatever, but that's just kind of like the nature of professional athletes. I mean, just like you can't bring in, there's certain male coaches that can't get respect either and can't hold players accountable.
Mhm.
That struggle with
Well,
that as well. So
I mean, Billups is one of the most respectable NBA people like over the last couple decades, right? Like everyone outside of people who think he committed sexual assault, but just in terms of like his NBA um, viewpoint, like everyone respected him, and like other players, people on the team, all that kind of stuff, and that didn't end up mattering. So maybe it doesn't matter that much, but yeah, it's not the end all be all, I guess. But um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm talking about when he was hired. Just comparing the two at the time. Like it would have if you just like had a multiverse type thing where in one of the branches you hire Becky and one of them you hire Billups. I think the team responds to Billups better, even if you can't coach, or even if Becky's the better coach. I don't know.
yeah, because you're talking about a player with an NBA Hall of Famer. There's naturally going to be more respect there because it's an NBA Hall of Famer coaching NBA players.
And it is sad that we have to have that question, but I mean, I think you're fooling yourself if you don't think that could have been potentially an issue. And the team in 2021, I don't think there were a lot of guys that would have had an issue. Like I don't think there would have been like malcontents on the team that wouldn't listen to Becky or whatever. So I think she would have been fine. It's hard to know what to do or how she would have done.
Absolutely. All right, let's do a tankathon.
Yeah.
We're so back. I thought we were about to win back-to-back games. That would have been a cool development.
No, sir. We don't get to have that.
Instead, we get to have 11th best ping pong balls. Anyway, um, Blazers are 11th like last stream. Look at OKC's picks. I need a cough drop. I'm over to die. Blazers 9.4% chance at a top 4 pick, 2% chance at a number 1 pick. And let's simulate it. and see if we can get some luck here. At 14, we have the San Antonio Spurs. At 13, we have the Charlotte Hornets. At 12, we have the Golden State Warriors. At 11, we have your Portland Trail Blazers. Yeah. Yay. At 10, we have Milwaukee. At 9, we have Chicago. At 8, we have Memphis. What's with these boring tankathon sims? At 7, we have Dallas. At 6, we have Atlanta via New Orleans. And at 5, we have Brooklyn moving down a single spot. Boring sims, man. At 4, we have Utah moving up a spot. At 3, we have Sacramento moving down a spot. At 2, we have Washington moving up a spot. And Indiana gets the first overall pick. This is maybe the most mundane tankathon sim of all time. There we go. That's better. That's better. We got Golden State and Dallas getting top 4 picks.
Dallas. Nice. Rigged.
Can you imagine we have 11th best odds and Golden State's 12th? And with the 12th pick, the Portland Trail Blazers. Yeah. Brutal. Brutal stuff. Connor says I got a sim once where only 4 and 5 are switched. It's impressive.
I could look this up.
What are you going to ask? I don't call that better. Well, yeah, it's not better for us, but it's better for the chaos. Last time Golden State was second, they drafted Wiseman. True. But I don't think any of the top 3 players are a James Wiseman. I mean, maybe Darren Peterson's a James Wiseman in guard form. I don't think you can go wrong, though, with the top 3 picks. Shoot, a top 7 pick. A top 6... Well, maybe a top 6 pick. I don't think you can go wrong unless you draft Keaton Wagler that high. My top 6, Dabonsa, Peterson, Boozer, Wilson, Flemings, Acuff. I would be surprised if that's not my top 6 on draft night.
I was hoping I didn't think they did, but I was just curious if Chicago had like a later first round pick, if you would let them, or you'd swap picks with them to get our pick back.
Unfortunately, they do not.
Yeah. Like, let's say they had the 20 or acquired the 25th pick or something, and we got 12th in that scenario. Would you?
I think 25 is a little too low.
Yeah.
I think if you're talking about around...
But you get your pick back.
Yeah, but it's just... I think if you're talking around 20th, sure.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, at that point, like, you're going to... Assuming a bunch of guys don't go back, like, you're going to have, like, a couple of Lendeborg. Gongba doesn't really make sense for us, but good prospect. Mullins, Hauk, Coapete, Bennett Sturts, Christian Anderson, Kareem Lopez, Chris Senek Jr., Cameron Carr, Dalen Swain. You know, if you've, different types of prospects here. But, like, you're going to have a few of those guys. You're going to have your pick of different types of prospects there, like, and they're all pretty good. Some people really like Morez Johnson Jr. He would be intriguing as backup for... Yeah, so, like, getting down to 25, all those guys might be off the board. Like, I would hope that around 20, like, Christian Anderson's still there. Or Bennett Sturts is still there. Or Coapete's still there. Or Thomas Hauk is still there. I'm starting to warm up to the idea of Thomas Hauk, by the way, for the Blazers.
I didn't know you were never warm on that.
No, I mean, like, with the 11th or 12th pick. I've always been a Thomas Hauk fan. I think for some teams he makes more sense. He screams Grizzlies pick to me. He screams Grizzlies pick to me. You know what's funny is on this Tankathon mock draft, they have the Grizzlies taking him at 17. So,
Nice.
if I'm able to like bet on who drafts Hauk, I'm betting on the Grizzlies. I don't know. I watched him in the first half. Who was it against? It was Florida versus Kentucky. I don't know if you were able to catch that game, but dude, the first half, he's just dominating. Yeah, I would love him as a backup for the next couple of years with opportunity to grow. Anyway.
Are we the most cursed franchise in history, says Exploit? I don't know if it's cursed. I think because a lot of it's self-doing. So, like drafting Bowie over Jordan and Odin over Durant, like some of those are our own fault for doing those things. Yeah.
Tristan says, sorry, go on.
No, you got it.
Tristan says, again, every athletic young forward is Torrey's guy. That could not be further from the truth.
That's not true.
Come on, man. Otherwise, I'd be a Kevin Knox fan.
Yeah. Alex mentions the Cleveland Browns. That's pretty good. How'd you like to be a Jets fan today and have
Geno back?
Geno Smith?
You have him at the beginning and the end of his career.
You
missed out on the whole peak.
Now he's
yeah.
Like your only title was what, Super Bowl 3?
Yeah. The Ravens pulling out from that trade due to medical reasons is interesting because right now they're the betting favorite for Trey Hendrickson. Like, did they pull out due to medical reasons because they're like, oh, we're the team for Hendrickson? We'd rather keep our first-round picks and just pay him?
Well, it was a very un-Raven thing to usually they're pretty conservative about trading picks and build through the draft. So that was pretty weird that they traded 2 firsts for someone. But yeah, I hate that crap. I mean, I don't. Its physicals probably weren't the best, but like,
yeah.
But yeah, it sucks when something like that happens when teams have already made moves thinking it was finalized. I put also, I mean, I guess some people might consider them to have similar bad fortune, but if you're a Buffalo Bills fan from like 90 to 94 and had to watch your team lose 4 straight Super Bowls, I don't know if I could recover from that. Like 4 years in a row, Tori, of making it there and losing, including one off a missed field goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Being a Mariners fan hurts. That season with most wins in baseball, lose early in the playoff hurts. I mean, that was 2001. I'll tell you what, being a Mariners fan last season was the most fun I've probably ever had as a sports fan of a team during that playoff run. So I'm planning on going up to Seattle for the opening series. For opening night on the 26th. Nice. So yeah, you might have to solo stream a stream or 2. I'm not sure when the Blazers play that weekend, but yeah. I'm all in on the Mariners. Dude, Team USA lost today. Wow.
They did?
To Italy.
Well, it was... I think they basically wrapped up their group.
No. Team USA?
Are they not?
No. If Mexico beats Italy, Team USA is likely out. Italy's
really?
3-0. So basically, Italy and Mexico play tomorrow night. If Italy wins, Team USA would advance. If Mexico wins, all three teams are 3-1. The two teams that allowed the fewest runs per recorded out advance. In its games against Mexico and Italy, the Americans allowed 11 runs and recorded 54 outs. Italy has allowed 6 runs and recorded 27 outs, while Mexico has allowed 5 runs with 24 outs.
So we need a high-scoring game.
Yeah, so like if that game's low scoring and Mexico wins, USA's out. That's crazy.
I thought I heard that the winner of Mexico US was almost guaranteed to win the group, but
Well, I think that was because they were expecting Team USA and Mexico to beat Italy.
yeah.
I mean, Italy's nowhere near as talented as Team USA. That's crazy. Crazy sports day. Shout out to Gonzaga for winning the WCC. St. Mary's couldn't even make it to the championship. Haha. Screw them. They can have this conference now. We're done with it.
Hey, the Bees only lost by 9 to them.
I know. Yeah. Looking forward to the Pac-12 next year. That's going to be fun. Santa Clara should be in the tournament. That'll be cool for them. And then Bam's 83 points. I'm just looking forward to going and watching the highlights from how he drew 43 free throws. Like, how is that possible?
So crazy.
Dude? How is that? Because it's not like it's hack-a-shack, you know?
Yeah, that would have been one thing.
Did you watch that game at all? Like, I'm so interested to see how the hell he got 43 free throws.
I was working till super late tonight, and then I got a text. It's here. I'll read it. I got a text from a friend that said, it just said, "Bam, ... what the actual F, LOL." And I said, "What happened?" Because I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been on my phone.
It was like your first assumption.
I thought maybe he like cheap shotted someone or got in a fight or like or like a bad flagrant foul or something. And then and then he said 83 points with a minute to go. I was like, what the? Yeah.
Was that more or less shocking than the Luka trade?
I mean, the Luka trade is more shocking, but this is pretty, like, if you would have told me someone scored 83 points tonight in the NBA, I mean, it probably would have taken like 100 players before I got to Bam.
Yeah, like, I mean, I guess Tyler Hero didn't play today and Norman Powell didn't play today. Mm-hmm. But like, if they were playing, I'd probably guess them before Bam.
Them not playing, I'd still guess them over Bam.
Bro, what? Trevor Keels played a minute for the Heat today? Trevor Keels is on the Heat? That's a name I haven't seen in a minute. That's random. What a box score. Trevor Keels.
Yeah, he definitely stat padded, but yeah.
We got Trevor Keels versus Sharif Cooper in the year of 2026.
There's going to be some crazy box score names like that these next couple weeks.
I know. I love it. I love it. My God, Jameer Watkins got a normal NBA contract the next couple of years. Let's go. I'd love to see it. But yeah, like I would have guessed like Booker. I would have guessed. Cam Payne had 32 points on 9 for 10 from the field and 8 for 8 from the 3-point line. That's crazy. Yeah, I would have guessed like Cade because Cade gets a lot of shots up. And they were playing the Nets
Well, even Dame. Did you hear the Dame?
Yeah.
Quarter when he was on the broadcast, at least the Blazer broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about how Bam said he was going to average 30 that next year after the Olympics, and Dave was like, "You're not that type of player."
Yeah.
And he's like, well,
Rip. Shout out collab cam.
"That was the first time tonight."
Yeah, that was the first time tonight you were saying. Actually, it collab cammed while we were on the intro. That's why when I went to live, you weren't there.
Nice.
Kobe's 81 was more impressive.
Yeah.
But still, 83.
Well, it is, I don't know, even if it was kind of manufactured a bit, just someone like Bam scoring 83 is really impressive, though. That's crazy.
That's the only way someone like Bam is going to score 83 points. Like
the whole, just thinking about it, because you've had Lucas scored 72? Was that the most he scored, or did he get 75?
I think it was 75. That game against the Hawks.
Something like that. Dame had 71. I think David Robinson had 71. But just thinking about Wilt's 100 and then Kobe's 81, but now you have Bam between those two. That's such a weird thing.
Yeah.
Embiid got 73. Yeah, I forgot about Embiid.
I think Wemby's capable of getting 80. Wemby at his peak will be like, if I had to guess, anybody that could score 80 will be him.
Oh, that's right. Mitchell had 71 as well. Did Harden get 7? I feel like Harden.
I don't know.
Maybe that was only 60 something.
Dude, did you see Buzelis today? Matas Buzelis, 41 points in 45 minutes against the Warriors, 16 for 28 from the field.
Nice.
Did you see Leonard Miller today?
No, I didn't see
38 minutes, 17 points, 11 boards, 8 for 16 from the field. After all these years, we were right.
I'm not going to say that, but...
Has Chris Murray ever scored 17 points? He probably has.
Yeah, he scored 24 a couple weeks or before he hurt his back.
I filtered that out from my memory.
Yeah. Eric says NBA was drunk today. Yeah.
Sports were drunk.
Harden's career is 61.
LJ Cryer had 17 points in 21 minutes.
Alex Wolf would know about Harden. It's his boy now.
True.
I still forget about that. It's so weird that he's on the Cavaliers.
Yeah, it is weird.
It doesn't seem real.
Any other weird box scores? Devin Carter had 24 today. Good for him. Ron Harper Jr. off the bench against his brother's team.
Yeah.
22 points, 8 for 11. He's been playing minutes for them, and actually, I mean, the numbers don't look super
good. Did Tatum play tonight?
Yeah, Tatum played tonight. But they've been playing Ron Harper.
I might have missed it if they asked him this, but I wanted Kevin and Lamar to ask Dame if what he thought about Tatum coming back from his Achilles, and if that has made him itch anymore to get back out there.
Yeah. Ryan Repair today in 22 minutes. 14 points, 6 for 9 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3. Ryan Repair last game, 20 points in 36 minutes, 5 for 13 from 3, or 5 for 13 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3, 6 for 6 from the free throw line with 8 boards.
Travis said they did mention Tatum. I must have missed that part.
Ryan Repair is actually a rotation caliber player now that he's not in Portland. Rotation caliber for the Memphis Grizzlies. Not really saying anything, but in 4 of the 5 games this month, he has 13, 16, 14, and 20 points. This is the guy that we laugh like, oh, he played 20 minutes today and was 0 for 2 from the field and didn't score and had a Tony Snell stat line. He gets out of Portland. He's like, okay, I'll do stuff now. What's next? Chris Murray gets sent to Sacramento and becomes better than Keegan Murray and does stuff? I don't know. Ryan Repair just needs to play for a tanking team, though. Remember his rookie year? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Too much pressure playing on a team that's not tanking. Dalen Terry played 22 minutes for the freaking Sixers today. I forgot he's there. Did you see Jabari's couple of great games that he had?
Yeah.
22 and 20 on back-to-back nights. Anything drunk in the Pistons-Nets game? Not really. Ben Seraph had 10 points. That might be the first time he's had 10 points all season. He sucks.
Yeah, Yegor's out for the year with plantar fasciitis.
Trey Horry's been having some good games. Kyle Kuzma had 33 today. The Bucks suck even with Giannis. Dude, if they... So they have Giannis back. He played 32 minutes today. They lost at home to the Suns by 15. They scored 17 in the fourth. They were like the Blazers. If they have Giannis back playing, trying to get to a play-in, and they're 5 games out. They have Giannis, and they can't even win with Giannis right now. The talk and chatter this offseason is going to be probably just as good, if not more. I don't know, is good the right word? Just as much, if not more, than what it was at the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Because he came back against Boston, and they lost 108 to 81. He played against Atlanta. They lost 131-113. He played against Utah. They won 113-99 as Utah. Against Orlando, that was the second night of a back-to-back. He did not play. They lost 130-91. They lost by 39 points. But hey, Thanasis had 4 points in 9 minutes, so good for him. And then tonight they lose by 15 to the Suns. Like, they're not going to make the play-in. The 10th place team in the East is Charlotte. And they're 5 games ahead of Milwaukee.
It certainly looks like they're not going to make it.
Like, they don't even need to convince Giannis to shut it down. They suck anyways. Like, so I don't know. That's going to continue to be the thing this offseason, I think. Just like it was at the deadline, and the Blazers are naturally going to be wrapped up in that. But you know what? You know what could convince Giannis? You know what, Portland's not too bad. They have Drew and Dame. Us taking the Spurs to 6 games in the first round. Which means we got to get that 8th seed to win that 7 versus 8 play-in. Which means we got to win games like tonight's. Anything else?
Thanks everyone for watching. Got a couple days off. Don't play again until Friday. Which it's good to have a couple days off, but it also sucks because if we win this game, have some positive momentum, a couple days to rest and watch some film and get better, and easy schedule coming up. Would have been a nice win to have, but unfortunately they blew it. But thank you everyone for watching. Appreciate you all, and hope to see you guys all on Friday night.
Yep. Have a good rest of your guys' week. We'll catch you at the end of it. We'll see if the Blazers can take care of business. We're out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, as always, peace out. Go Blazers!